Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for requesting this private session that Karen and I are getting ready to do. She has selected the topic of money mindset, which I love. So, what we're going to do is we're going to set up a round of tapping and we're going to do it. And all of you who are listening to this recording can do it along with us. I always invite people to make this your own, change anything, any little words or phrases that aren't quite you, and make it as specific as you can to what you're dealing with. So, Karen, when you think about money mindset issues, what comes up?
Scarcity.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was raised in a blue collar household, and there was a lot of there's no money, we're broke, it's not in the budget, money's hard to come by, we can't afford it. And I unfortunately feel like I've raised my kids as a single mom on a lot of those beliefs, which I believe are limiting my ability to touch more people, grow the business bigger, and actually enjoy more financial success myself.
Okay. And when you feel like you don't have enough money or there's scarcity, do you feel that anywhere in your body? Or like think like you're
I,
getting to make a big purchase or something like that?
yeah, I think I tend to stress in my neck and shoulders with things like that.
Okay.
Oh, the pit of my stomach also seems to have just
Mm.
told me that don't forget
No,
about me.
here.
Don't forget about me.
Okay. And is that just does that just flare up like when you think about it or when you're getting ready to take action on something or when does your body talk to you about it?
Yeah, so when I have to make a purchase, when I want to make a purchase, when I want to make a purchase and I know that I can, when I want to support my adult children and I know that I financially can, when I have to pay all my bills in a short period of time, there's just this energy about it that causes friction inside me.
Okay. And how do you feel like after you support the kids with some money or you make a purchase?
It's really interesting. I think that last year I bought a car and I was so anxious about it uh, until I got it and I was driving home in it and enjoying it. But even still, so I would say that that leading up to it has a lot of stress, but then uh, yeah, it can really pop up. It can undercut a good day or a good week. It could be this thing that uh, is just out of sorts. And I'm grateful to rarely be out of sorts these days because of all the work I've done. So this is really obvious to me that like this is like, okay, this is something that needs to be worked on
Right.
because
Does that still feel unfamiliar, like being in a place where like, oh, hey, there's not scarcity?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in fact, I recently lost my mom and she was a good steward of her money and I cracked up because now I have a nest egg that I may never have had and it doesn't do a damn thing to help my scarcity mentality. And I was like, it's an inside job, girlfriend.
Absolutely. There's the awareness, though, that it all starts and stems from. So that's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing in and of
Yeah.
itself. Optimally, how would you like to feel about money?
I would love to feel like I am a vessel that it flows into and flows out of, and that it's there for me as I need it. I'm very not materialistic. One of the business program I'm in, they're trying to get us to yearn for the yacht, the house, and I'm just like I'm pretty low maintenance, but
You're
I
not
would
you're not
like
motivated by those possessions.
I'm not really motivated by them. And yet if someone said, would you like to, do a beautiful trip to Europe and maybe take your kids with you? It's like, yeah. So I would love to feel about money that I have a wealth of health. I have a belief and a knowledge in every ounce of my body that I am abundantly healthy. Like nothing, COVID, I never got COVID. People look at me and I'm like, I never get sick. I'm always healthy. This is a belief that I have in every cell of my body. I would love to have the exact same belief about the abundance of financial wealth in my life.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So then when you think about the scarcity mindset that you currently have, how much does that affect you on a scale of 0, where it's like not at all, and 10, where it's affecting a lot of the decisions and it's kind of making you feel anxious?
Yeah, it's a good question. I would say it's certainly above 5. I would say maybe between 6 and 8. Maybe we'll land on 7.
Perfect. I always say, like, don't stress over the number too much. It's just a measurement. Like, all we're trying to figure out is if we can move it a little bit during
Yeah.
this tapping around.
Mhm.
And this is one of those things, like, unlike a tangible headache or something like we talked about on the episode of your show, this isn't something where we're going to do this round and you're going to be like, oh, I'm good. You know, it's not going to show up in an immediate way. It's something that is going to show up as you maybe go to make your next decision or something like that. And it might be something worth revisiting and doing, or even tweaking to adjust to the way that you feel as you do it time and time again, to continue seeing and getting a little bit more mileage out of. Doesn't mean that it's not working. It's just some things, like limiting beliefs, are hard to test in the present moment when you're not up against the thing that triggers it. So
Okay.
that's all. So I don't want you to be like, this didn't work. Like, it's, I mean, if you want to like buy something from me afterwards and test it, you can.
Yeah.
All right. In the meantime, we tap and we see what we can heal. So this is like follow the leader. You're going to tap just the same places that I am. I'm going to say something. You're going to say it back. So we
Okay.
start on the side of the hand. Even though I have this deeply ingrained feeling about money
Even though I have this deeply ingrained feeling about money
and scarcity,
and scarcity,
I want to love, accept, and forgive myself.
I want to love, accept, and forgive myself.
Even though I was raised with a scarcity mindset
Even though I was raised with a scarcity mindset.
and it feels really difficult to think differently about money.
And it feels really difficult to think differently about money.
I honor these complex feelings
I honor these complex feelings
and want to accept myself anyway.
and want to accept myself anyway.
And even though when I go to make a big decision about money,
And even though when I go to make a big decision about money,
all of those feelings about it,
all of those feelings about it,
that I can't afford it,
that I can't afford it,
that I don't have the money for it,
that I don't have the money for it,
that I probably shouldn't even buy it,
that I probably shouldn't even buy it,
all come rushing to the surface.
all come rushing to the surface.
And there's nothing I can logically say or do that seems to change it.
And there's nothing that I can logically say or do that seems to change it.
I love, accept, and forgive myself.
I love, accept, and forgive myself.
Now we're going to start going through the other points. All of this scarcity mindset.
All of this scarcity mindset.
I'm familiar with being in a blue collar family.
I'm familiar with being in a blue collar family.
I'm familiar with not having the money for anything I want.
I'm familiar with not having the money for anything I want,
Or at least being told that I don't have the money for anything I want.
or at least being told that I don't have the money for anything I want.
We were always broke.
We were always broke.
The things I wanted weren't in the budget.
The things I wanted were not in the budget.
And I've created my adult life around these beliefs.
And I've created my adult life around these beliefs.
And now I want to do so much more.
And now I want to do so much more.
I want to grow my business.
I want to grow my business.
I want to travel to Europe with my kids.
I want to travel to Europe with my kids.
I want to have what I want when I want it.
I want to have what I want when I want it.
And I still don't feel like it's available to me.
And I still don't feel like it's available to me,
Even if the money for it is sitting right in my bank account.
even when the money for it is sitting right in my bank account.
I feel all this resistance.
I feel all this resistance.
I feel it in my neck. I feel it in my shoulders.
I feel it in my neck. I feel it in my shoulders.
And don't forget the pit of my stomach.
And don't forget the pit of my stomach.
I definitely feel it there.
I definitely feel it there.
And I'm sure that there's a part of me that just does not feel worthy or deserving.
And I'm sure that there's a part of me that does not feel worthy or deserving.
It feels like I have to pinch all the pennies, just like my mom did.
That makes me feel like I have to pinch all the pennies just like mom did.
And I don't know if I can do it.
And I don't know if I can do it.
It just doesn't align with the life I'm trying to create.
It does not align with the life I'm trying to create.
But it feels so unsafe and so unfamiliar to feel abundant.
But it feels unsafe and unfamiliar to feel abundant.
But actually, I feel really abundant about my health.
I feel really abundant about my health.
It's familiar for me to feel abundant about my health.
It's familiar for me to feel abundant about my health.
If I were to feel abundant about wealth and money,
If I were to feel abundant about wealth and money,
it would probably feel kind of the same.
it would probably feel kind of the same.
And I know that feeling.
And I know that feeling.
And I'm safe with that feeling.
And I'm safe with that feeling.
So I'm open to the idea
So I'm open to the idea
that money is an energy.
that money is an energy,
That abundance is an energy.
that abundance is an energy,
Just like my health is energy.
just like my health is energy.
And I can align with the frequency of wealth and abundance,
And I can align with the frequency of wealth and abundance,
just like I align with the frequency of health.
just like I align with the frequency of health.
Maybe I just need to dial in on my vision a bit.
Maybe I just need to dial in on my vision a bit,
Get really specific about what I want.
get really specific about what I want.
Then I can magnetize it right to me.
Then I can magnetize it right to me.
And I can allow money to flow to me.
And I can allow money to flow to me.
And I can feel safe letting money flow from me.
And I can feel safe letting money flow from me.
Just like I inhale and I exhale,
Just like I inhale and I exhale.
I can bring in money
I can bring in money
and I can release money,
and I can release money,
knowing that it's going to keep coming back to me.
knowing that it's going to keep coming back to me.
It's a renewable resource.
It's a renewable resource.
It's never really lost.
It's never lost.
And I can feel safe enjoying my money
And I can feel safe enjoying my money
as I create more of it.
as I create more of it.
Beautiful. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose, Karen, and exhale out through your mouth. It's very common, especially for people that are tapping along that are doing it, very common to yawn. Sometimes people burp, all different ways energy moves. It's all a good sign. So if any of that's happening for you, just let it do its thing. How did that feel for you? What kind of aha moments or things were coming up as we were working through that sequence?
I think more than anything, I felt a lightness. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I just felt like an ease and a lightness would be what I say.
Cool. Very good. And so where would you say you're at on that scale of 0 to 10 at this moment, with the present moment being all that matters?
I mean, I feel like I bumped up to a 9.
Or actually, 0 would be less. 10
Oh,
would
so
be
then
most. So,
I feel like I bumped down significantly then.
so if we were at a
Yeah.
9, like a 1.
Yeah. So I was a 7 when we started.
Mhm.
So I would say, yeah, I bumped pretty far down.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Not bad for a few minutes work. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And I would suggest revisiting that one, maybe like when you have a financial decision that you're trying to make or whatever, just
Well,
open up.
I have 2 emerging adults, so they're always my son's
So you're
car
saying
is
you'll
at
have
the
plenty of
mechanic.
opportunities. You'll have plenty of opportunities to use this round of tapping.
Yes, yes, my son's car is at the mechanic, and we were told not to expect good news. So,
Oh,
so timing is of the essence here.
well, just allow the money to come and go and know that you'll always be supported. I have no
Yeah,
doubt about that. And I can tell just like by the way you live your life and run your business and everything else, like what are you worrying about?
yeah, yeah,
Beautiful.
exactly.
So I always like to ask people who have watched this if they have done the tapping round with us, please feel free to send me an email. I love to know like what your level was before and after, or what kind of like aha moments or pings kind of come to you as you do this. So you can always send me an email at Theresa@theresalearlevine.com. I would imagine, Karen, you'd love to hear from people too. You want to give your email
I
address?
would. Yes, Karen at journeybeyonddivorce.com. Definitely share. I'd be very curious.
Yes. And thank you all for requesting this, for doing it with us, and for experiencing the wonderful transformation that can happen when we regulate our nervous system around the things that are bothering us. Take care.
Yeah, thank you so much.